Hi, my name is Jean-Pierre, and my guest is someone who's navigated the corporate world while managing a chronic illness. An illness that doesn't care about deadlines, presentations, or 5-year plans. She's an IT senior advisor with a deep passion for human resources. She's an advocate and someone who's making strides to live life to the fullest, purposefully, despite the pain she regularly experiences. Today on the Pain Free Podcast, I'm talking to the one and only Solange Mela.
First and foremost, thank you for being here and just taking the time to speak to me and speak to my audience. I want to start where you said earlier that you said sickle cell does not define you, nor stop you from living your purpose. Mm-hmm. When did you first believe that? And how was the journey to get into that space?
So with me, I guess I'm fortunate or unfortunate because I grew up in a household where I just knew that I was sick. So it was not a thing of you have sickle cell. I was treated normally like all my other siblings, but it was a case of now and then I'll be in hospital. We know that she's sick, but it wasn't of you need to have special medication or not. However, when I was in high school, there was something that happened whereby my mom liked to push us academically and always make sure that we, exceed. And there was a statement that she made, I don't think she remembers, that she was like, even Solange, who's sick, got 90%. And for me, I'm sure it was innocent at that time, but for me it was like, no. It shouldn't be because I was sick. It should be because I work hard. So right. that was my aha moment of whatever I do, I'm going to make sure that I do it in such a way that they won't say, even though she's sick, they must just say, wow, this person is amazing. And then the sickness will come after, per se. So that was the moment where I started making sure I push hard and I do everything that my sickness is not an excuse.
Tell me a little bit more about that, about having siblings maybe who do not have sickle cell, and obviously their lifestyles are different from yours, and also just that comment from your mom. I can imagine there were other moments where the comparisons would kick in, and how did you used to deal with that?
So for me, it's a matter of, it's a difficult one, to be quite honest. And it's hard when you're in hospital, especially, like how sickle cell always creeps in at the most critical moment, when it's somebody's birthday, it's Christmas or something. That's when you are sick. And being in hospital, I'll be like, why is it always me? Why can't I be like my sister, for instance, or my brother who can easily go play in the rain or play all the different sports and be fine?
Right.
But what I liked about my mom is she treated everybody the same, right? It's only in later stages that I realized that you are sick, you've got sickle cell. Like I knew I had sickle cell, but I didn't understand the severity of it or what it was until later on in life. Because I've seen a lot of parents who then put their kids in a bubble. Like, you can't do this, you can't do that. She actually allowed me to do anything. And it's just when she saw that now I'm being sick more frequent that she pulled me out of whatever it was. So I think the problem that I had was more internal, with my own insecurity of feeling like you are ruining Christmas, for example, or somebody's birthday, or why can't you be like everybody else and not be in hospital? So it was more of an internal thing and not something that was inflicted upon me. Right. So that's how I grew up. So for me, it was more like we all know that Solange is sick. We don't understand what it's about, but we know from time to time she's sick and she's ruining somebody's birthday cake. But that's not something that they said. It's something that I felt. So it was
Right.
always my own insecurity. It was just that one moment. And I think my mom probably just said it.
Right.
And it wasn't in a malicious way or anything, but that was a moment for me that said, never again. Like, I want to live a life where people can see everything else that I'm able and capable of doing. And sickle cell must be an afterthought, not a centerpiece of it.
You mentioned something that caught my attention. Some of the thoughts you're having internally, maybe not trying to inconvenience everybody around their plans, especially Christmas and times like that. Did that ever cause you to struggle to ask for help?
I'm still struggling with it, eh? Like,
Yeah.
It's a ongoing battle, because I'm blessed. I want to say that I'm blessed because I'm surrounded by people that are amazing, that want to help me at all times. But it's hard because with sickle cell, you'll be fine, and then in 5 minutes you're sick, and then you're fine again. It's like you made up that moment of pain at times, and people want you to be able to say, I'm not feeling well, because I have close friends that always tell me that you're not well. But to me, it's like, this thing is not stable. I don't want you
Right.
rushing here and then you see that I'm fine. Then
Right.
I can't be asking for help all the time because it's not a stable thing, you know?
Right.
Sometimes I feel bad that I'm calling somebody to say, I'm not feeling well. And they come here and I'm smiling. The one thing I've learned is that to try to be extremely strong when I'm sick, because in all honesty, this sickness is not pretty, right? In a sense
Right.
of the pain is extremely unbearable at times. But when you look at somebody else's face, the way they look at you, it makes you more sad, and you don't want that person to see you in that way. So I've sort of have this thing of, I keep smiling and I'm fine as much
Right.
as I can, so that the person doesn't feel, you don't want that thing of, oh my gosh, what's happening now, Solange? You don't want, it leaves that person not okay. Because I've had times when friends have seen me in hospital and they were like, sure, yeah, you scared me, hey? That was bad. You see?
Yeah.
So I try not to show that in my face, that, I'm not, the pain is there, but it's not that bad, although it's there. So to get back to what I was saying, it's not that I don't want help. It's just that because it's so unstable, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to inconvenience you for that hour or 2 hours or even 5 minutes. And then for what?
Right.
Because now I'm okay, So it's tough, and I've spoken to some of my close friends who have explained, we don't care, at least we know, and we are in the journey with you. That's what we want. So it's something that I'm slowly trying to let go of and be frank and say, I'm not okay, and just allow them to be however it is that they want to be in that space.
You actually highlighted something that I want to talk about, the instability of sickle cell, right? People see the physical symptoms and then 30 minutes later, you're okay, like nothing happened. But on the flip side of this up and down, cycle of the physical pain is a very important thing that we miss, which is the emotional exhaustion, the anxiety that comes with it, the grief that comes with it, and that goes unnoticed sometimes. What does the mental health management now look like for you, especially when you're surrounded by a support system? They care more that you're not in pain, but I've always noticed that after the pain goes, there's this residual of heavy emotional internal turmoil, so to say. And it also needs to be sort of catered to. How do you manage that, or how have you been managing that?
I'm still managing that, to be honest. And to be fair, it's something that I think that we don't speak about. And for me, I don't speak about it because I'm scared to scare my loved ones. Right? So after a very eventful crisis per se, then you start thinking. It's like you have a awakening in some sense of saying, dude, this is serious things, you know? What if you die? Right. And like it really now, death really like is in the picture, whether you like it or not. Now it really makes you think about it. And it's something that I don't think I'm really able to speak to a lot of people about it. I have a friend that I'm open and honest with, that I tell about this. She's one of the few that I'm actually able to say, this is how I felt, and this is what I'm scared of. And she allows me to speak about it, and obviously she'll talk me out of it, but in a sense of it allows me to have it out in the open so that it doesn't eat me from the inside.
Right.
And we work through it, where she gives me that platform, like you can call it therapy, to actually speak about it, and so that it's not internalized. A lot of things that happen is we internalize things and it kills us inside as well. And what I'm noticing is when we take it out, it's better. It helps you because you've released it in a way. So it helps you cope better, and it helps you now refocus on what's more important. To be fair, there's some of my friends will say, but we're all gonna die. True fact that we're all gonna die. But you're not reminded every day. Some of us, we are. That's every day that it's closer. And it's something, although we don't want to talk about, it's the reality. There's a lot of things that bug me. Like, for instance, now I'm being very candid with you. Not having a child is a big thing for me. I've always wanted to have a child. And it's the whole thing of, you are now 41. Your health. What are you going to do? You're not as young as you used to. There's a lot of things that needs to go through it. Then it's like the one thing that you really want is now something that you can't really have, if you think about it scientifically. And if you look at all the facts, it's something that it's more work to actually have that come into life than just letting it go. The easiest thing would be to let it go. If you look at all the scientific thing, I'm a firm believer in God, and I know that I am where I am because of Him. I know that, and I know that He can do miracles, but I also believe in, let's look at the facts, and let's also allow Him to take control of it, you see. So there's a lot of things that I haven't said that now you and your you and your people are going to know about. There's like you sit there and you think about, what if this time when I go in nothing works? What if my organ doesn't function? How will I function? How would I work again? What would I do? There's like so many things that you actually think about. And what I started also doing is journaling. Like, I will write down. And the reason why I'm emphasizing into letting things out, because I noticed how when I was internalizing a lot of things, I was getting worse. I was getting worse, not only emotionally and mentally, but also physically. Then I will get more crisis.
Right.
So now I've started letting it out in various platforms like journaling and writing something to myself. And there's one thing that has helped me a lot is the support group that we have. The sickle cell support group, like reaching out to people that understand.
Right.
And they are able to talk you out of it and show you that, no, it's fine. Look, it happened to me. I was even worse off. Then you start having that hope again.
Right.
And you
right.
come out from it as well. Because I've met incredible people, like, not to compare, because you cannot compare people's level of sickle cell to yours. But when you speak to people and you hear how much worse they've gone through and how they've overcome it, then there's a hope of saying, but this is nothing. I can also overcome it. I can also do something. So I don't think we should underestimate the impact of having a community. And a community that has gone through it, that understands it too, it really helps. I'm not discarding the community that we have of our family, but the sickle cell community as well, the people that experience what you're experiencing each day, is very helpful.
Solange, you've unpacked it a lot, and there's so many things we can just dive into from everything that you said. I want to touch on the aspect of faith, religion and science, actually understanding the science behind sickle cell and how to take care of it. I've noticed some in my journey, some people have a religious sort of opinion, so they encourage me to pray more and maybe less on taking medication, going to the hospital, blood transfusions and stuff like that. And there are other people who are really all about the scientific aspect of it, which is, just medication and stuff like that. You have kind of found a balance that works for you.
Okay. This is it's a tough one. When you talk about religion, it's very tough. But what I've always said to people is that I believe there's a verse in John of the blind man where the disciple are asking God, is it because he sinned or is it his parents' sins? And Jesus answers that it's not about the man or his parents, but it's so that I can show that things work for my glory, for God's glory, somewhere there.
Right.
So I've always believed in that verse, right? I feel that God knew that I was going to have sickle cell. And he knew that I was going to have to go through all this medication and everything. And I believe that he will make sure that the same way he took me to the scientific world of going to doctors and having medicine, he will also stop it there. God also made doctors.
Right.
He made them. And he's helping them, right? So I feel that it's not wrong to take your medication. It's not wrong to go and have your checkups. God will heal you 100%. But even while you're still in your sickness, he is still doing a testimony in your life. I've witnessed where my doctor has said to me, I'm a scientist, but every time you hear there's a hand, you should be worse, but there's a hand that keeps on like curving you back. So for me, in the sickness, God's work is still showing, right? And that's why whenever I'm in hospital, I'm not worried, because I know that God is with me. I know that whoever is in that room, that is supposed to be helping me, God is also with that person to ensure that I'm okay. And I know that through what I'm going through, they are seeing his works. And so that's why, for me, I'm saying there's nothing wrong with prayer, but use what God has created, which is medicine, for him to reveal that there's nothing above him. I will not stop the medication and stuff until the doctor himself can say, I've seen Solange's God at work. Here is the scientific result to say she no longer has it, for example. So I'm a firm believer that that's something that I don't have a question. Nobody can question me on, is that in my sickness, I have seen God leading me, are the people that he's put in place to make sure that I am where I am, and that I get the help that I'm supposed to get at that point. And at the same time, he's also opening the eyes to see that he's there. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
It's a great story. It really is a great story. And then on the flip side of all of this, Solange, you are an IT senior advisor, right? And you also work in human resource.
Yes.
You combining your passion, IT and human resource. So these two are quite busy field, demanding fields.
Yes.
How do you manage, with the unstable unpredictability of sickle cell in such a professional environment?
It took a while. I won't lie and say it magically happened. No, I used to be extremely stressed out because the main trigger of sickle cell is stress.
Right.
And because of the high-paced environment, and because I also want to prove myself at all time. So I used to end up being more sick. And what I'm learning now is to balance, and to balance in the sense of asking myself, is it really worth it? So every time there's like an important deadline and I'm going above board, in a sense of, because of that thing from childhood of not letting my sickness define me, I always work I'm a hard worker.
Right.
That's a fact. And I've now reached a point where I've asked myself, have you not proven yourself in your work environment? Yes, you've proven yourself. So whatever task that I do, I ask myself, but is it worth you being at the hospital? If the answer is no, then I try to pace myself and I remind myself that I'm worth my life, and me being okay is worth more than work. And I've got the opportunity now where I work with a group of people that are very supportive. They will quickly be like, Solange, I don't want you to be sick. I'm taking this on. You can do this. You can do this. You can do this. How can I help you? So now I've built that environment around me that allows me to just be and be okay in terms of allowing somebody else to take over. Before it was like, no, I need to prove myself. Just in case I'm sick for 10 days, I don't want to be fired. But now people they know what I can bring to the table. So I'm able to now say, I can't do this one. I'm going to take on this role instead. I will do it this way. So every day I'm balancing and I'm doing what we all should be doing, which is choosing ourselves. Remember, if you don't choose your own health, your own, and by health, I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, emotional, then you can't help anybody. You can't give 100%. So in everything that I do now, in all the projects that I'm working on, whenever I reach to that peak where I feel like now you are exhausting yourself, is it worth it? And if the answer is no, then I try to figure out, how do I rest? I use a lot of weekends to rest. People don't know that. People don't know that as soon as I switch off my laptop, I'm in bed, I'm sleeping, I'm resting. I'm trying to make sure that I'm okay so that I can give for the following day so that I can go on. And I don't know. It's just it's been working out. I don't want to jinx anything, but because of that, trying to strike a balance, I haven't been in hospital for 8 years now. Like I've been
Amazing.
managing to balance my work life aspect so that I'm
Right.
okay.
Okay. One thing I like about you is that you have mastered the art of sort of assembling the best support systems, be it family, be it friends. I remember you once told me a story, I think during COVID times when you had COVID,
Yes,
and I think your friends locked you in the house, but they would come give you food by the door or something like that, if I'm not wrong.
100% every
Tell
day.
me that story and just your mental state throughout, knowing that your friends love you, but they're outside the door at any moment, but also just protecting you and themselves in such a setting. How was that like?
I won't lie, that was scary. In my head, I'm like, you've got COVID, you've got sickle cell, and then you're alone. And then who's gonna find you when you're here, right?
Right.
And it's amazing how everybody called in to check that I was fine. And my friend made sure she will come in. There's a sliding door that I have here. She will stand there, watch me, chop the food, make sure I'm fine at all times. Like she will pop in and stand outside and talk to me. And that was just a reminder to me that, wow, you've got amazing people that, that love you. All right. And even my sister also came, like my siblings were here and waving through the sliding door. That's just a reminder. You're so caught up in your problems that you forget to see what's there. And like I'm emotional right now thinking about it, because although I had this fear of I'm gonna die, what's happening now? Hey, what if sickle cell start? Who's gonna take me to the hospital? Because now I have COVID. Like your head is just, going crazy, and you'll get a phone call of no, let's watch a movie together. Relax, don't worry about it. I'm here. I'll wear a mask. I'll take you where you need to go, And I'm like, no, we need to make sure you are safe. Not me, but,
Right.
people just insisted. And I think my message also to your listeners will be, just look around you. You'll be amazed at the people that are there that are saying, allow me to be there for you. Sometimes I think we get so caught up in the negativity of sickle cell and the impact that it might have on them, that we just don't allow them to be there and help us. Like, we are because of people. We mustn't forget that.
Right.
And God has put certain people in your life for a reason. So allow them. You'll be amazed at what you actually learn from them. I have one of my friends who says to me, I want to be interviewed for Friends of Sickle Cells. I'm like, why? She's like, do you know how I know all the signs? I know when you say I need to drink water, it means it's about to, your crisis is about to come. When you start saying, I'm dragging myself, I'm going to bed, it means we are at level 4. Like she can tell you the stages and the steps. And I was so amazed. I'm like, really? She's like, yeah. And when it's bad, you start mentioning your doctor's name. That's when I know
It's really
we are
cool.
now in level 10. I'm like, okay. You see, like, you'll be amazed. Like, have conversations with them. You'll be amazed at what you find out. Like, there's another friend of mine who said she started watching a lot of the webinars that I was involved in, and she's like, I've learned a lot more about you in that than you being my friend.
Wow, that's remarkable. Solange, I wanted to find out, how do you translate what you've just shared as far as just trusting people and allowing them into your space, especially with your friends, and how well they've gotten to know you on your journey. How do you translate that into the workspace? You mentioned some of your work colleagues helping you with your work, or just checking in with you to see if you are not so stressed and stuff like that. How did you get to that point? Do you go into a work environment and immediately tell them about your condition? Do
Yes.
you how was that for you?
So I'm honest in the sense of I go in and I tell them I have sickle cell. Obviously, you don't dive into explaining it. You just say you've got this. Where I'm currently working, I remember I told a colleague of mine, and he actually went to Google it without telling me. And he came and he sat next to me, and there's sadness in his face. And I looked at him, I'm like, what's wrong? He's like, I just read your thing. It's hectic, eh? How do you do it? Like, I think from then, that's when he realized, okay, Solange is not just always sick because she doesn't want to work, or, she's just being lazy, but she has a serious condition. So I think from then, it's where he started also being an advocate, in a sense of, letting people know, oh, that girl goes through a lot. You don't know what she's going through, but look what she's able to produce. So from being honest, I think you start creating a relationship where people don't have their own I'm trying to find a good term to say, they don't make their own assumption of what's going on with you. Because there was one day, there was a hectic crisis at work, and I was supposed to help them fix it. The following day, I was in hospital. So somebody could have interpreted it, somebody could have seen it as Solange is running away.
Right.
You see? And so from then, because I've also proven what I can produce, I'm guessing that's where people know that, no, when she says she's seriously sick, she's sick. And by the way, I still do the one thing that I don't like. I show up even when I'm sick. I show up and I do the work. So they know that even if she's not well, she's in hospital, she will answer and she will do the work. So I don't believe in trying to hide. I don't think we should be hiding that we're sick or that we're not well, because in hiding you get a lot of assumptions, you get a lot of people filling in the dots that are incorrect. So by being transparent, I'm not saying you need to say everything. You can just tell them, this is what I have. I'm very quick at saying I have sickle cell, so that if you are interested, you will ask me questions. I will tell you what it's about. If you're not, it's okay. You see? So I think that has helped me a lot, because then people are able to witness for themselves what it is, what it's about. I think I said to you today, I'm feeling extremely cold. I don't understand. My colleague just said to me, go outside before you have a crisis. You see, like simple things like that. So for me, it's let's talk about it. I think in our community of sickle cell, we have this thing of trying to hide. And my question is, why are we hiding it? What are we getting from it being hidden? And that's why it's not being picked up as fast as we would like it to be picked up by people who need to really assist us in making sure the word is out there, because we are trying to hide it.
Could it be that the few times maybe someone tried to be vulnerable and put it out there, maybe they had a terrible experience? I don't know if you've had a terrible experience.
100%.
How did you deal with that? And how do you not let it affect you to the point where you're still quite vulnerable almost in every setting about what you're going through.
The thing is, I understand that it's not something easy to talk about, and B, there's a lot of stigmatization surrounding it. But I'm saying let's be brave enough, as much as we're brave to deal with the symptoms and what we go through on a daily. Let's try to brave this out and speak out. Why am I saying that? Like, I was once in a hospital, my doctor was not in, and they were busy Googling what is sickle cell. You know, you're in pain. You don't have time now for all that. But they were so interested because it's something that they studied at school for 10 minutes or so. Right? They're like, oh no, we never saw this, you know? But I'm although it's annoying because you are sick at that moment. You don't have time for this. But it helps in a way for us if we keep talking about it, so that the next person can feel free when they come and talk about it. They can get the accurate assistance. My biggest issue right now is I want it to be something that they can look up and be like, oh, sickle cell, no, it's fine. Give this person morphine or whatever it is that they need quickly, because they've learned from the likes of your Solange and your Jean-Pierre's, you know?
Right.
Like, in any struggle, there's a few people that need to stand tall so that the path can be easier for everybody else.
That's quite profound. And in terms of this same vulnerability, I want to know how you've navigated romantic relationships. And earlier you mentioned your desire. Pardon?
I'm still looking. Putting it up.
You're still looking. Earlier you mentioned your desire to have a family, to have a child.
Yes.
You also mentioned the time aspect of it. I just wanted to know if there's certain decisions you've had to make in terms of, you know, love and, you know, romance that didn't support your journey and stuff like that. How have you navigated the dating pool, so to say?
I'm still navigating. The one thing that I always do is I'm very upfront. When I'm interested in somebody, I tell them. So listen, I have sickle cell. I take about so many tablets during the day. I might go with you somewhere and be in pain and have to take painkillers. I might smell of penicillin because I take it every day. Like in the beginning stages, I don't wait. In the beginning stages, so that the person can then make a decision whether they want to continue or not. Because I want somebody that's going to be very supportive. I want somebody that when I decide to let them in, they'll be able to remind me, Solange, you didn't take your mates today. Oh, I packed a jersey because we're going to the mountains, for instance. You might be cold. You haven't drank water. Like somebody who's going to be my supportive partner. So if already from the beginning you can't, then there's nothing to talk about. There was a guy that was interested in me and actually wanted to marry me. That was back then. And he came and he said to me, I read about your sickness and it's too much for me. I want kids and I don't know how I will deal if you had to die. That was back then. So now, I don't know, now it's like 10 years later. He's like, you know what, you scared me. I'm like, no, I didn't scare you. You went to do your own research. But you forget that even though you've done the research and the research says this, we not everybody has the same level. It doesn't mean that whatever that you Googled is what's going to happen. You know, this thing of being Dr. Google does
Right,
not
right.
work. So I said to him, you had the opportunity then. You refused. By now, we could have had 5 kids. But you
Solange
refused
5.
by then. We could have. Who knows? I could have had twins. We're done. You know?
Yeah.
But that's a lost opportunity that can never
Right.
be given back. And he said, you scared me. I said, no, I didn't know about my own sickness. I'll be frank with you. But you based your decision on Google.
Right.
And you decided that pursuing something romantic with me was not good enough. Or didn't weigh more. So that's why if whoever meets me now, that's the first thing I tell them. I tell them this is what I have. And I will see whether they'll go and Google and come and ask me questions, whether they, you know, interested
Right.
or not. I'm still looking.
Right.
I've asked my doctor to find me somebody in his, you know, in the doctor field so that I can get the IVs when I'm sick.
You know, the hospital can be in your house now. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
don't have-
I want one in my house.
I totally understand. I just wanted you to speak more on the misconceptions, especially with this access we have to the internet and, you know, research and ChatGPT and all these AI tools. That as far as that information is out there, I know for sure that every warrior's journey is so different. Their symptoms are so different. Their triggers are so different that as much as there's information out there, the need to actually understand the person you are dealing with and know them for who they are, rather than just categorizing all of us based on the information out there. How important is it that, yes, we have the general knowledge on sickle cell, but healthcare people or caregivers, friends, colleagues should also have the curiosity to try to know the intricacies of each warrior's journey?
I just want to highlight something that I think is very important for me to highlight. When I was trying to understand that, okay, Solange, you've got sickle cell, find out about it and stuff. When I went through Facebook, I think it's an American one, I can't remember. And all I saw was negativity. All I saw was you're dying, death, pain, there's this, you know, like there was too much negativity. It's, to be honest, it's quite depressing. And that's why I decided I also want to be a voice. I want to say, yes, it's not a pretty picture, but there's positivity. But look at me, I'm 41. I just turned 41 now. Look at me, I'm 41. Look at me, I'm able to work. Because you'll read there where people are saying you can't work, you can't follow your passion. Unless the doctor tells you you can't, you can. Unless God says, listen, you can't, you can. You can, right? And that's why I'm passionate, or I want to speak my story. Like you said, we are not all the same, but in your story, in you speaking your truth and you telling people your story, you are opening an eye for somebody else to say it's okay for me to live my story. Why can't we do that? What's wrong with doing that? And one thing that we all need to understand is, if you say you love somebody or you are interested in somebody, you want to understand them. You want to understand every aspect of them. So why are we leaving out the sickle cell part of it? Yes, I am Solange Mela. I have sickle cell anemia. That doesn't compromise 100% of me, but it's something that is of me. It's something that has taught me how to have a higher tolerance, how to keep persevering. It's something that has opened doors to me to meet the likes of the Jean-Pierre. It's still a part of me. It's not the core of me. There's a difference, right? So for me, I'm saying, everybody in the whole world, forget about being sick. everybody has a story. And in that story, it's what makes the world the way it's supposed to be. So if I'm interested in you, I need to understand what is your story. And if I want to say, I want to be part of Jean-Pierre's story, I need to understand in the puzzle of Jean-Pierre, where do I fit in? So let's not only look at it in the aspect of the sickness, but look at the person holistically. Even in the medical environment, when they're treating people, look at the person holistically. Who is Solange? Yes, she's got sickle cell, but Solange can't do morphine, for example. I need to add this and this because Jean-Pierre deals with this better than Solange does. It's a holistic approach. So in everything, you need to see the bigger picture before you decide which piece of the picture you fit in.
So, what's next for you, both in your advocacy with the work that you're doing with Sickle Cell South Africa and in your personal journey going into 2026?
You know what? I want to speak up more because I feel like I underestimate myself in the sense of I don't think I have a bigger story than Jean-Pierre, for example. But I think within my story, there is something that Jean-Pierre can learn. So that's something that I want to touch more into. I want it, especially within South Africa, it's the thing of there's a lot of people with sickle cell that are hidden. They're hidden because they feel alone, they feel that they're not understood. And I want to push the agenda of saying Sickle Cell South Africa is here to give support. Let us tell you that we are here for you. We have wonderful stories. We've got incredible people that are working, that have kids. Because some of us, as soon as you hear that you've got sickle cell, you're like, will I have kids? We have people that have wonderful relationships. Like, to have that aspect of you are still a human, you still have a purpose, you still have things that you're supposed to do. This is just a part of your life that doesn't define you. That's something that I want to advocate for. I want to advocate the whole thing of live purposefully, live life. Like a lot of people in the world are just you are living, but you're not living. There's a difference.
Right.
You're just going from, but just live. Like nobody knows their time. To be honest, nobody knows their time. Yes, the doctor has given you bad news, but he is not the be-it or be-all.
Right.
It doesn't stop you from still going to Jean-Pierre's podcast and having a story. It's just something, it's just a journey or a challenge that you are going through. It doesn't stop you from fulfilling your life. Like, that's something I want to really push for. I want to say, you were born for a purpose. Live that purpose. And just because you have sickle cell, just because you're having a tough time, it doesn't mean that you are not living your purpose. You should stop living your purpose. When you're at the hospital, Jean-Pierre, I've seen it happen. When you're at the hospital, and yes, you are in pain, but you just look around you. The people that whose life that you are impacting. Every day you are impacting somebody's life.
Before we sort of round up, I just want to know if there are people out there who are listening to your story and they're being inspired and they want to connect with you. How can they support Sickle Cell South Africa? How can they support you in your advocacy? How can they connect with you?
They can find us on Instagrams. We've got an email address. Okay, so they can find me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook and LinkedIn, and I am Solange Mela on all platforms. For Sickle Cell South Africa, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn, Facebook as well. as Sickle Cell South Africa. It's got, people like to say it's chilies, but anyways, it's paper, our little icon. And you can also send us an email on sicklecellsouthafrica@gmail.com.
My final question to you, Solange, is, let's say 40 years from now, you're 81 and you look back at your life and you want it to be put in a movie. I want to know what you'd call the movie and why.
She Lived.
Mm.
My movie will be called She Lived. Why? Because like whenever it's around your birthday, you start taking account of your life. I actually like had flashbacks and I saw that I've lived. I've done everything. Like I've had fun with friends. I'm traveling. I've worked. I've lived. I've played sport. Although that's when I started being sick and I knew, okay, you don't do that. You see, and that will be the title of my movie, She Lived.
Brilliant. I don't think there's anything more I can say from that. Solange, thank you so much for coming on to this platform and pouring your heart out. And I will definitely love for you to come back next year and tell us what you're working on as well.
Thank you for allowing me to have your platform. I'm grateful that you chose me to come and speak. And you're doing a brilliant work. I love what you're doing. If you need me, you know where to find me. I'm supportive of what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Solange. I know you're feeling cold a bit earlier, so I'm going to let you go rest. Stay warm, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
If you're still here, thank you for sitting with us through that. If this episode sparked something in you, please share it. Maybe you thought of someone just now. Pass this along. Let them know that you are thinking of them. Make their day. It's on me. Love always and forever. Jean-Pierre.